All right, so today I'm going to show you guys how to draw these Air Jordans. I believe they're called it's the original Air Force One, I want to say, Air Jordans. A lot of you guys have asked to draw these. So this is kind of my reference sheet, and then we're going to get started. So as you can see, we're going to start from the sole and work our way up. So the sole is essentially just like a rectangle, and then it slowly starts to get skinnier right here, and it's got little treads on the bottom, but we'll add those after we do our main rectangle. All right, so here's my piece of paper. I'm gonna go roughly about 4 fingers in, make a little dot, 4 fingers in on the other side, make a little dot, and I don't know, probably about 3 or 4 fingers up from the top. Now, I'm going to make a relatively straight line, and once I get about 2/3 of the way through, so past halfway, I'm going to start to curve up a little bit. All right, then I'm going to go up about a little over 1 finger wide, maybe 2 fingers, because you guys probably have skinnier fingers than me. All right, and it's gonna slowly go slightly down, and this is gonna come up to meet it. So we have our sole. Do you see how this is coming at an angle? Where this is staying pretty straight, okay? Now we can add on to the bottom of it. We're gonna add on a little curved line, and once it gets to here, it's gonna start doing this and do like little boxes. These are the treads on the bottom of your shoe. All the way down until you get to the end. All right, then we're gonna add some stitching, and we're gonna just do that with a broken or dashed line, and that's gonna look like our thread that's gonna go across. Try and keep it the same distance from the top of this line. Now at the very, very end, it's going to start to kind of curve to show that it's curving around the end of the shoe. All right, now we're going to go up, and we're going to go up like 5 or 6 fingers, so like a whole hand of distance, and it's going to kind of curve slightly in. All right, and on the front end, we're only going to go like 1 thumb up. So that's kind of the basis of it. And this is going to slowly curve up and over. Now the shoe, the back of the shoe is slightly lower than the tongue or the front. So it's going to curve like this. And I have that about 4 fingers, right? Now it's going to slowly curve, so it goes up. It's worked its way up. It's going to curve down slowly like this. So that's our, I don't know, maybe like 2/3 again. A little bit before you did this, a little bit closer to the center, is when it's going to even out and start kind of being a little bit more shallow. Now, there's this middle part is actually called the tongue of the shoe. It kind of pops out, it can fold out. So first we're going to do right here where like the high top kind of laces. So it's like a separate piece. And then this right here, this is the tongue. I'm going to take my eraser. Make sure you have an eraser with you because you're probably going to be erasing. And this is going to kind of come and curve back like this and attach to the Nike sign, which is going to come swooping down like this. So the Nike sign is skinnier here and gets wider here and kind of curves like a check mark curving up. All right, now this line right here is actually going to stop when it hits the Nike sign. So I'm going to go back and erase that because I did it a little too far. All right, now here is where the other part of the shoe where the shoelaces go into goes, and it's going to go down to about here. And it's kind of a curvy line. And there's actually another piece right here that kind of curves down around from the Nike sign. And this little piece of leather has 3 of the holes for, so this is going to have a hole for the shoestring right here and right here. And then there should be 3 in here. 1, 2, 3. And then there's 2 in here. 1, 2. And I'm just making those marks so I know where to put my shoelaces. Now, there's another piece of leather that comes like this. Get that one too low. All right, it's gonna, I think we actually do see it over this. It's gonna curve around like this and then come back. So there's this little like U shape. And then goes towards the front. All right, so there's only one more piece, and that's going to be coming down like this. And like that. All right, so now we can add our stitching. On each of these little pieces of leather, there's stitching. So that means like little threads that we'll be able to see. And it's actually 2 rows of stitching. So you want 2 rows of broken or dashed lines going around each one of these pieces. There'll be one that goes like this, and like this, okay, on these, again, going around this piece of leather, there's stitching, 2 layers. And around this piece, there's stitching below it. All right, and then there's kind of like little dots where like the leather is perforated with little holes so that the shoe can air out. All right, now let's add our laces. The laces are going to kind of have rounded and pop above the tongue to show they're 3D, all right? This one's going to kind of disappear. This one curves all the way over here. And then these 2 kind of crisscross. So this one's going like that, and this one's going to go underneath. And anywhere where a line crosses over these shoelaces, it's going to get erased because the shoelaces are on top of everything, so we cannot see any lines crossing through them. All right, now the last thing to do is the, you know what, there's a little piece that comes up like that, is the Air Jordan symbol. So the Air Jordan symbol almost looks like a sailor hat, like that, and then like wings, like if you fly like in airlines and the airline pilots have wings, that's kind of what this looks like. So the wings are, there's a basketball right here in the center, and it has a line that curves like this, and a U that goes through like that, and an upside down U that goes through like that, and then a line that curves like that. And then these are just going to be little feathers coming out. And then this will say Air in all caps lock Jordan. Now, if you have a marker, I would trace everything in marker, and then you can kind of make your own coloring book and color in the Jordans however you want, with colored pencils, with crayons, with markers, and design it so that you're kind of designing your own shoe. And then go ahead and make sure you go to my Google Classroom or to my Flipgrid and post a picture so we can see your Jordans.